There were... I mean, there are stories about this. It's hard to know quite how true it is. There were biblical objections to the idea of chloroform being administered to women in childbirth. Do you know why?
Because pain is good for them.
Well, there's a very specific reference in the Bible. It's right at the beginning. Do you remember Eve gets Adam into a bit of trouble by making him eat the fruit? And
yes.
God says, no, you ate the fruit of the tree whereof I spake, thou shouldst not eat. And to the woman, he says...
You will marry Tom Cruise.
No, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children.
Yes.
So it was as if God cursed women to have pain. So some ultra-religious people felt that it was basically God's curse and they should scream in agony while giving birth. But then Queen Victoria had one of her children, Prince Leopold, was born when she had chloroform, and then the habit caught on, and then the epidural and various other such things.
I didn't know Victoria had a Prince Leopold.
Yes, she did, yes, I know. She had 9 children, I think.
They were all named after pubs.
Yeah.
Ding-ting. Very nice. Excellent. Here's another intimate little secret for you. How can you tell a French baby from a German baby? Yes, Veronica.
A German baby will have wrapped itself in a towel before the midwife has even had a chance to fetch it.
It's not often you can do the same joke twice in one show, but is the German baby on the far right?
Hey!
Is there a difference in cry?
Yes.
They have an accent.
Yes.
No.
They don't have an
Yes.
accent.
It's not an accent exactly, it's a melodic cadence. In the womb, the baby is hearing its mother tongue, and the different languages have different stresses and cadences and, as it were, melodies, and you can actually do tests in which someone will say, that's a German baby, that's a French baby, just by its gurgle. In the womb, it's heard the language. And not only that, they actually like their mother tongue. You show them videos, and there's someone speaking in a language that isn't the language their mother and father speak, and someone else speaking in their own mother tongue, and they will stare at the one that's in their mother tongue. Even, it's not their parents, it's someone else. They actually are drawn to it, so they pick up on the rhythms very early on.
Glaswegian baby says, get me out of that bloody cage!
That's great. But it is fascinating that early on, just in the womb, they've picked up on the rise and fall, the melodic cadences of their mother tongue. I think that's rather sweet.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think it's beautiful too. So there you are, yes. How long do the best hugs last?
20 seconds.
That's a very long hug. I would start getting embarrassed and restless if someone hugged me for 20 seconds, but...
Do you want to test that?
Yeah.
Do you want to test that?
Yeah, no, please. Oh, hello. Here we go.
That was lovely. Yep. I'm on the clock. I'm on the clock. Yep, I'm on the clock. That was... Oh, God, this is too long. It is really bad. Oh, it is really bad. This is too long. It is really bad. Oh, we're unembarrassed now.
Did you say I'm on the clock?
On the clock,
Yeah. And lovely. That's got to be at least 20 seconds, and that was embarrassing.
That was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no...
See if you can beat it.
Oh, God!
that's lovely, lovely. I've been waiting years to do this.
Well, if you like jogging, I'm playing tiddlywinks and sod the lot of
Right. That was lovely. That was unusual. I wasn't expecting that response, but it was charming. You're both wearing very nice aftershave, by the way.
Hang on, do you want your watch back?
Would you like my aftershave?
Gorgeous aftershave. Now, there have been tests. It seems weird.
4 or 5 seconds.
Well, 3 seems to be the answer.
3 is the perfect time, you mean? Or...
It seems to be that there is a kind of inbuilt human moment, which is 3 seconds. If it's less than 3 seconds, it really is a bit kind of... Well, that wasn't really a proper hug. If it's 2... 1, 2, 3, that's nice. It's just actually a rhythm that seems to be built in to the human race. This 3-second period is known as a moment, and it happens in a lot of the things we do. Don't say it.
I just can't wait for my great aunt to come round and give me a hug. It's all very nice, and I'll go, it was 4 seconds, you bitch. Next time you'll keep it tight or you don't come in.
I think what spoils a hug is when the other person goes, and break.
Yes. Well, have you heard of the 5-second rule?
Food.
Yes, what is it?
This is where if you drop food on the floor, it's OK to eat it if you pick it up within 5 seconds.
Right, and do you believe that?
No, it's nonsense,
Yes,
obviously.
it is, of course, complete nonsense. It could be OK after 5 minutes. It just depends on whether the
Well, you
floor
are.
is contaminated.
Yeah.
And, of course, human beings tend to, if you drop chocolate or a biscuit, people will say pick it up and eat it easily. But if it's broccoli or cabbage or something, they go, oh. That, with a big splat like that, though, you just think, no, I probably won't worry. But do you eat food off the floor? I mean, if you drop food...
As a rule, I do.
No, not...
Is this what you do at speed dating? You eat food off the floor. Move on. You eat food off the floor. Move on. You've got a yellow hanky. Perfect.
It was a presumption, it wasn't. It was like,
You eat food off the floor.
Yeah.
Slightly not you.
She's
Straight
quite
away.
That's
disgusting.
not a yellow hanky, it's a white hanky. I've just cleaned that up. Thank you very much.
I think once you've got a baby, food on the floor
It's
really
the least
is
of your
fair
worries,
game.
isn't it?
Well,
If
exactly.
you didn't eat food off the floor, you're wasting about 90 quid a week.
That's it. Now, buzz when you know what's so damn interesting about this photograph. Yes.
You said damn interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, what is it that's interesting?
Yes, I've got it, yes.
It's a dam,
It's
yeah.
got the goats walking across
There are
it.
goats walking
Yeah.
on
It's
it.
just a little one there.
There.
There. They scale...
Oh,
Why-
yes!
Now, why would they do that?
That is pretty impressive.
That is
Yeah.
pretty
You've got to admit,
impressive.
do you know what kind of goat that is?
With an ibex.
It's an ibex. It's an alpine ibex. An extraordinary thing. I mean, this is a south-facing dam in Italy, the Cingino Dam, and to get a salt lick, they walk on what is an almost sheer rock surface. Isn't it amazing, though?
Have their little, have their hoofs sort of adapted?
Well, you can see there's a better thing there. Yes, I mean, they are...
Are they clothed?
Ibexes, are, like all goats, are incredibly sure-footed. And they're alpine, and they can scramble up rock faces and things like that. But it's astonishing, isn't
Do
it?
they fall off sometimes?
I hope not. I doubt it. I mean... wow.
There's a kebab stand at the bottom.
That's terrible and believable at the same time.
Occasionally one does fall off.
Do you know what the Pyrenean ibex... this is the alpine ibex. This is in northern Italy. But do you know what the Pyrenean ibex did in the noughties, in the decade between 2000 and 2010? There's a Pyrenean ibex.
No, fell off something, got up to the top, something couldn't get down.
Something fell on it, or on her, in fact. There was a violent storm on January the 6th, 2000, in northern Spain. Celia, she was the last ever Pyrenean ibex. And the branch crushed her skull and she died. And the species was declared extinct. But in 2009, 9 years later, she made a comeback and she became the first cloned animal that had been extinct from a piece of her skin was preserved in liquid nitrogen. And a little kid was born, but lasted only 7 minutes and died. But it is the way forward with extinct species. There are a lot of kind of frozen arks with highly endangered species whose DNA is being kept in the hope that they will be resurrected one day. And there is an example for 7 minutes. Isn't that weird? And talking about things that only show up if you look at them very closely, it's time for general ignorance. So fingers on buzzers, please. Where was Louise Brown conceived? Yes.
In a test tube. Why did the silicone coming out my mouth? Like, what, you fool?
Louise Brown was indeed the world's first in vitro fertilized baby.
She wasn't
But it wasn't a test tube, it was a petri dish.
So she's a fraud. She's been telling everybody she's the first
She never
test tube
claimed to
baby.
be.
She's
The
the
news-
first petri dish baby.
The news claimed she was the first test tube baby. There's another Louise Brown, who's 91 years old, and lives in the Stewartry of Dumfries and Galloway, who has a record, we think, in the United Kingdom, which is rather extraordinary. There's no way you could possibly guess it,
It's
except...
got to be the oldest something or other.
Well, she...
Oh, is it too late for this?
No, we definitely know.
We could ask her.
We could ask her, she's still alive.
She doesn't know.
We think she's the most prolific library book borrower in the country. She has read...
That's too much of a leap from
Yeah, it is. She,
fertilisation.
it just happens to be the same name. She's read just under 25,000 books.
Well, she says that. She's borrowed them.
No, but that... 12 a week. 12 a week, and she's never once had a late fine.
That probably proves that she doesn't read them, the very fact she gets them back on time.
I think it's rather charming. They're mostly Mills and Boon romances, war stories and historical dramas. But that's it, 12
So
books.
Barbara Cartland was writing that many.
Yes, exactly. Just
Just for Louise to keep reading.
Yeah. I was going to say if Louise is watching, but she isn't. She's reading a book. But if Louise is watching, we salute her in the world of dying libraries. Where did marsupials come from? Yes.
Marsupia.
It could easily have been the right answer.
Well, they only live in Australia.
Not true.
You knew that.
We'll let you off.
Yeah.
We'll let you off there. They don't only live in Australia. In fact, there are marsupials in the Americas.
Are they?
Yeah. What are they called?
Oh,
They're really
yes.
cute. We'll show you a
They're
photograph
little.
and see if you know them. They're tiny. They're the mammals that have the tiniest
echidna
babies.
type.
That's not the echidna, no.
Oh, are they finger bobs?
Oh, they look like the clangers.
They
They really do look like finger bombs.
They do. They are opossums.
I didn't know that. I didn't realise this. I thought that they were born in the pouch. I didn't realise that they're born
No.
and then they have to crawl up and get in the
Yes.
pouch.
And in the case of the opossum, you could get 20 baby opossums on a teaspoon. They are absolutely minuscule. And the mummy licks her fur to make a line from where they're born, and they crawl up into the pouch, because the babies then develop further in the pouch. But they first began...
Well, that's bizarre, because I was under the impression, I'm wrong as ever, but I was under the impression that marsupials evolved separately on Australia, because Australia was, like Madagascar, separate from...
No,
other
but like
evolution.
Madagascar and like New Zealand and many others, they all originally belonged to a supercontinent, which was known as...
Australasia?
No, it was known as...
Essex.
Someone in the audience will know. Gondwanaland. It's a supercontinent that broke off and is now South America, Africa, and indeed Australasia. We're all part of this supercontinent. And
So the scientists say.
so they say. But in fact, the first marsupials came from the part that is now South America, in fact, that had been Gondwanaland. But they crossed through Antarctica while it was still one continent and into Australia. So there you are. That's your marsupials. Actually originated in an area which is now part of South America. Which brings me to the matter of the scores. And they make fascinating reading. In first place by quite a long way, with plus 10 points, it's Dave Gorman. I'm speaking almost now like a proud father. With a magnificent 6 points, in second place, Alan Davis. And only just behind with plus 5, Lee Mack. But with a very creditable minus 7, Ronnie Ancona. So, all that's left is for me to thank Ronnie, Lee, Dave, and of course Alan, and to leave you with this thought from Leo Burke. People who say they sleep like a baby usually don't have one. Good night.
And I'm here on BBC HD in just a few moments this evening, and there's all new QI coming up at 10 on Friday.